From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday announced that the government's new loan program for tourism enterprises is expected to spur job creation and boost opportunities for small businesses nationwide, reinforcing the industry's role as a vital pillar of the Philippine economy. During the launch of the Turismo Ascenso Loan Program in Pasay City, the President said tourism is now one of the pillars of the country's economy that brings livelihood and progress to thousands of small businesses in every corner of the country. The program, jointly rolled out by the Department of Tourism or DOT and Department of Trade and Industry or DTI through the Small Business Corporation or SB Corp, provides low-interest loans to qualified tourism, micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs payable in 3 to 5 years at a fixed rate of 1% monthly interest. 9 businesses from Metro Manila and Calabarzon were awarded loans of up to 1 million pesos during the ceremony, covering enterprises in accommodations, food services, transport, and tour operations. President Marcos stressed that supporting MSMEs is central to sustaining growth in the tourism sector and ensuring that communities benefit from the rising visitor arrivals. The chief executive also pointed to the global shift toward experiential tourism, saying Filipino hospitality remains the country's edge in attracting visitors.
Isa na ang turismo sa mga haligi ng ating ekonomiya. Nagdadala ito ng kabuhayan at pag-unlad sa libo-libong maliliit na negosyo saan man nasulok ng ating bansa. Sa bawat welcome at mabuhay na sinasambit ng tour guide, sa bawat lutong bahay, sa karinderya, sa bawat serbisyong may ngiti, nariyan kayo. Ang ating mga lokal na negosyante sa turismo. Kayo ang bumubuhay sa industriya ng turismo at tumutulong sa paglago ng ating mga komunidad. Kaya naman, patuloy ang pamahalaan sa pagsulong ng mga programang sumusuporta sa inyo. Isa na rito ang Turismo Ascenso Loan Program na bunga ng pagtutulungan ng Department of Tourism at Department of Trade and Industry, katuwang ang Small Business Corporations. Layunin ng programang ito na gawing mas abot kamay ang puhunan para sa mga MSME sa turismo.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday emphasized the enduring role of the Philippine Civil Service, urging government workers to adopt reforms that address the evolving demands of the modern era. In his message for the 125th Philippine Civil Service anniversary, the President emphasized the permanence and continuity of the bureaucracy as essential to effective governance extending beyond electoral cycles. The President described the civil service as the permanent bureaucracy that preserves institutional memory, mediates the implementation of policy, and sustains the ability of the government to deliver programs across regions and sectors. As the civil service enters its 125th year, President Marcos urged agencies to see the milestone as an opportunity for reorientation, particularly in facing 21st century challenges such as digital governance, regulatory coherence, environmental accountability, and decentralized service delivery. The chief executive also emphasized that civil servants carry the responsibility of constitutional stewardship, urging them to uphold technical competence, ethical discipline, and institutional rigor in the daily practice of governance. The Philippine Civil Service traces its roots to September 19, 1900, with the establishment of the Bureau of Civil Service under Act Number 5 of the Philippine Commission. It has since evolved into a professionalized bureaucracy with the Civil Service Commission or CSC as the central personnel agency. The CSC is leading a month-long anniversary celebrations this September.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday administered the oath of office to Vince Dizon as the new Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, directing him to root out corruption and end ghost projects in the agency. Dizon replaces Manuel Bonoan, who resigned effective September 1st to take responsibility over alleged anomalies in multi-billion peso flood control projects under his watch. President Marcos earlier said Bonoan stepped down under the principle of command responsibility, while an independent commission will be created through an executive order to probe the irregularities. Dizon, who previously served as presidential advisor on flagship programs and projects, and more recently as transportation secretary, played a key role in implementing infrastructure under the Duterte administration's Build program. He was also a prominent figure in the government's COVID-19 pandemic response. President Marcos expressed confidence that Dizon's management skills and track record in large-scale infrastructure development will help restore integrity and efficiency in DPWH operations. Undersecretary Giovanni Lopez will replace Dizon as Transportation Chief. He also took his oath at the palace as Acting Secretary.
Dateline Malacañang.
In the meantime, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said Public Works and Highways Secretary Manuel Bonoan stepped down due to command responsibility for alleged anomalies in multi-billion peso flood control projects, even as Malacañang moved to create an independent commission to probe deeper into the matter. The President has appointed former Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon to replace Bonoan. Dizon took his oath as DPWH Secretary before the President in Malacañang on Monday morning. Malacañang also announced the creation of an independent commission to investigate alleged irregularities in DPWH's multi-billion peso flood control projects. The body is tasked to conduct a comprehensive review, identify anomalies, and recommend sanctions to restore public trust. President Marcos said they are now studying the composition of the body, which will be formalized through an executive order. The chief executive also stressed the need for the body to be composed of forensic investigators, lawyers, justices, and prosecutors who will look at the evidence and information at hand and make the recommendation to either Department of Justice or DOJ or the Ombudsman, depending on who is found to be liable. He noted that anomalies were also discovered in the proposed 2026 national budget.
said that he took responsibility because it was under his, all of these things happened, all of these problems happened under his watch. So under the principle of command responsibility, he felt that he should leave his post. So, and why Vince Dizon? Because he seems he's done a very good job at the OTR. And I think he's already set the stage for all of the things that we need to do. So pwede na niyang iwanan and go to public work because he's also familiar with the workings of the Department of Public Works and Highways. We are putting together the EO that will create the independent commission. The independent commission will be the investigative arm, so that they will continue to investigate whatever information is received. It will be sent to them. They will investigate it, and they will make recommendations as to how to proceed, whether kasuhan itong mga ito or i-ombudsman o dalhin sa DOJ, whatever it is. But they will recommend to the executive what to do with certain parties who have been found to be part of all of this corruption that's been going on, not only in flood control but all of the workings within DPWH. Kasi unfortunately, the more we look, the more we find. Kahit sa 2026 budget, marami pa rin siningit. So talagang it really needs to be cleaned out properly.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
In related news, newly minted Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon on Monday said he will order the courtesy resignation of all DPWH officials following President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to purge the department amid alleged irregularities in multi-billion peso flood control projects. Dizon said the move, which he announced hours after he took his oath as DPWH chief, marks the start of a clean sweep to restore public trust, ensure transparency, and guarantee that every peso spent in infrastructure truly serves the Filipino people. In a palace press briefing, Dizon said his first order to be issued is to order courtesy resignations from top to bottom for the entire country. The new DPWH chief said he would implement the massive shakeup within 30 to 60 days.
Unang-una po, ang unang-una ko pong order na igagabas ay ang pag-order ng courtesy resignations top to bottom, USEC, ASEC, Division Head, Regional Director hanggang District Engineer ng buong bansa. Yan po ang unang-unang order na gustong ipagabas ng ating Pangulo. Ito po ay simula ng sinabi nga ni Yusek Claire kanina na clean sweep, paglilinis. No? Yan po ang unang-unang direktiba ng ating Pangulo. Nag-usap po kami ng matagal kaninang umaga. Sabi niya, linisin ang DPWH. At ito po ang simula. Pagkatapos po nito, tayo magko-conduct ng napakamasusing review ng lahat ng mga personnel. Ako po'y naniniwala na maraming mabubuti at magagaling na kawani ang DPWH. Ang utos ng ating Pangulo, hanapin sila at sila ang ilagay sa mga sensitibo at importanteng posisyon.
Dizon succeeded Manuel Bonoan, who stepped down under the principle of command responsibility after anomalies in flood control projects surfaced. Previously served as Transportation Secretary and Presidential Advisor on flagship programs, Dizon vowed to implement the President's mandate to restore public trust in the DPWH and ensure infrastructure projects are built with integrity, transparency, and efficiency.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, newly appointed Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon on Monday announced that contractors found engaged in ghost projects will be blacklisted for life. In a press briefing in Malacañang, the new DPWH chief noted that he already asked for the permission of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. that private firms involved in illegal government projects will be banned forever. At the same time, Dizon added that there will no longer be investigation against these spurious contractors if they are found to be engaged in illegal activities. He also reported that the chief executive is set to form an independent body to investigate these illegal projects involving flood control undertakings.
Itong mga ghost project at substandard project, kinlear ko na rin po sa ating Pangulo na ang mga kontraktor nitong mga ghost project na ito, unang-una, mag-i-impose po ako ng lifetime blacklisting, ban, immediately. Kapag ang isang project ng isang kontraktor ay ghost o napatunayang substandard, wala na po itong proseso, wala nang investigasyon, automatic po, blacklisted for life ang kontraktor na yan. At syempre, may kaakibat din pong kaso yan. At lahat po ng ating makukuha ay ipapasa natin sa independent commission na itatayo po ng ating Pangulo. Sila po ang mag-iimbestiga at magfa-file ng mga karampatang mga kaso laban sa mga kawani ng DPWH, sa mga kontraktor, at sa iba pang mga kasama dito sa mga project na talaga nga namang tinapon na lang sa ilog para po gamitin ko lang ang salita ng ating Pangulo.
Was Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang on Monday said Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will not tolerate questionable insertions in the proposed 2026 national budget, stressing that funds must go only to legitimate projects and not to repeat allocations for already completed works. This as lawmakers bared the 2026 National Expenditure Program or NEP submitted by the Department of Budget and Management or DBM included budget allocations for projects already completed. In a media briefing, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the President will not allow any more insertions because this budget is for the people and the nation's projects. Castro said lawmakers should first coordinate with agencies such as the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH to verify whether a project flagged in the budget is truly finished or still ongoing in another location.
Unang-una, wag muna po tayo maging judgmental agad, di ba? Dahil kailangan po nila muna makipag-cooperate, makipag-coordinate sa DPWH, at kung ano man yung ahensya na sinasabi nilang nagawa na yung proyekto pero nandun pa rin po yung budget. So halimbawa na lamang po, i-example po natin ang Marikina River. Kung may proyekto po dyan, dapat eksakto po yung coordinates, kung ano talaga yung lokasyon, dahil baka sa haba niyan, ibang parte ay tapos na, pero yung ibang coordinates naman o ibang lokasyon ay hindi pa. So mas maganda po makipag-coordinate at makipag-cooperate muna sa DPWH para malaman din po natin kung kanilang sinasabi na proyekto ay talaga natapos na. At kung talaga man po natapos na at ito ay isiningit sa 2026 budget, hindi po ito papayagan ng Pangulo. Nadinig po natin, galit na po ang Pangulo. At ayaw po niya na may isinisingit pa sa budget dahil ang budget nito ay para sa taong bayan at para sa proyekto para sa bayan.
Was Palace Press Officer Claire Castro.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday led the ceremonial distribution of training and financial assistance to over 1,000 calamity-hit tourism workers under the Bayanihan sa Bukas na May Pag-asa para sa Turismo or BBMT program at the Baler Convention Center in Baler, Aurora Province. In his message, the President emphasized the vital role of tourism workers in boosting the country's economic growth, citing that the tourism sector contributes over 8% to the country's gross domestic product or GDP. President Marcos also pointed out that the sector's main advantage is the innate hospitality of Filipinos, which makes it even more important for the government to continue supporting the industry and its workers. Currently, over 2,800 Filipinos have benefited from training and financial assistance through the BBMT program. In 2024, the program supported nearly 1,400 beneficiaries in the Davao region and more than 70 in Agusan del Sur province. In 2023, it also helped more than 1,300 people in Oriental Mindoro.
Kaya itong Enero, pinagkaisa ko ang DOT, ang Department of Tourism, at saka DSWD, Department of Social Welfare and Development, upang maipatupad ang bayanihan sa bukas na may pag-asa sa turismo o BBMT program. Ito ang ating sinimulan ngayon. Layunin nitong BBMT ang makapaghatid ng tulong pangkabuhayan sa mga manggagawa na nasa sektor ng turismo na naapektuhan ng kahit na anong sakuna o nagkaroon ng kahit anong tinatawag na emergency. Sa pamamagitan nitong BBMT, isasagawa ng mga training magsasagawa ng training ang Department of Tourism para sa mga interesadong magkakaroon ng bagong kabuhayan. Kabilang dito, mga beads, mga artwork training, paggawa ng pastry, fun farm tour product development, tourist reception seminar, at iba pa. Lahat ng iba't ibang pangangailangan na karunungan at sanayan para sa industriya ng turismo. Sa tulong nitong BBMT, may susulong natin ang lokal na ekonomiya, may papakita ang yaman ng ating kultura at mabibigyan ng mas maraming oportunidad sa pag-uunlad dito sa sektor ng turismo.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is live on audio streaming. Just download Evox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.